Hey guys, welcome to Mixed. Today I'm going to show you guys a really cool hairstyle that I did on Lillian that looks super complicated, but it's actually really easy. I thought of this hairstyle while looking at Pinterest and seeing all these complicated, awesome hairstyles, and I kind of adapted them to make it a little bit easier and make it work on Lillian's shorter hair. There's no braiding or other advanced techniques, but it ends up looking like a really awesome style. I hope you enjoy our tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Today's style, I used rubber bands that don't break her hair, the Curls Blueberry Bliss Curl Control Paste, the Shea Moisture Kids Detangling Spray, but you could also just use water, a rat tail comb, a bristle brush, of course my toothbrush for her baby hairs, and then just some clips and rubber bands to get her hair out of the way while I was styling it. So I'm starting with Lillian's hair dry and mostly detangled, and I'm going to make a part from ear to ear and kind of towards the back side of the ear. Sometimes I do it a little bit more forward, but I want her pigtails in the front to look full in the end, so I'm gonna do it a little bit more back. And for whatever reason, her hair has recently been washed and it's a little bit more dry with a little bit less product in it, so it's harder to part. And some days are just like that. So I find that spraying water, or in this case I'm spraying the Shea Moisture Detangling Spray, helps me achieve a straighter part. But I'm careful not to wet her hair too much because then that will decrease her volume later on in her ponytails. So once I get that front hair, that part straight, I'm going to section out that front section of hair and kind of get rid of it while I work with the back. So basically this hairstyle is just a lot of parting, and now what I'm trying to do is make a vertical part in the middle of the back of her head. So it's going to go from the middle of her neck straight up to where I've sectioned out that top section of hair. And I'm trying to make it as even as possible because ultimately her pigtails on the top of her head are going to follow this same middle part. See, I'm checking to make sure it lines up with the front. So I always make sure that her part lines up with her nose, and then it's gonna go straight back down to right in the middle of her neck. So now that I'm satisfied with that part, I'm gonna section away this section of hair because I don't need to work with it right now, and I'm gonna start on making my ponytails. So to start off, I'm going to section a small little rectangle at the back of her head. So I make a horizontal part, and these can be as big or as small as you want or need. The first time I did this style on her hair was much shorter and I had to make these ponytails pretty small, but now I could technically get away with making them bigger, although I think if you make them smaller, it looks a little bit nicer. So of course, I'm gonna use my Blueberry Bliss Control Paste. And actually this is so small, I didn't even need to brush it. And then I just secure the little ponytail with a rubber band. Now I'm gonna make another little part right above this one. I'll try to make the sections as equal as possible, but it really doesn't matter. Here's some TLC because getting her hair done is a little bit boring. Also, she's mad because she was watching Peppa Pig and now I turned her around so she can't see it, which is the biggest problem right now. So I'm just gonna try to get that section parted straight. And then section that other bit of hair away and make another ponytail. Now the big thing with this is I'm going to make that ponytail, but I'm also going to add the hair from the previous ponytail into this one. Lillian's obsessed with the Blueberry Bliss Control Paste. Actually, so is her brother Jackson. There's something about the texture of it that they really like. So you see I'm kind of making this ponytail, and I find that if I twist it a little bit, that just helps make it stay. And then I twist that little bit into it. It's not really twisting, but I find that it helps. And then I secure it with a rubber band. So I'm gonna continue doing this until I reach that top section that I've already sectioned off. And the thing I like about this is that it ends up looking almost as if I had braided it. Not quite, but almost as if I had braided it. And really all that I'm doing is making parts and ponytails, which is tedious, but not challenging. So the thing is as I go up, instead of these being rectangles, because of the shape of her head, it almost becomes little, it's a diagonal part almost. So as you can see, it's going to be a little bit triangular, I guess you could say. You see it's more narrow at the side of her head. And then as it gets towards the middle, it's wider. Lillian had taken more Blueberry Bliss control paste out, just putting it all over me. I have to kind of go with the flow when I'm doing her hair, because even though normally I'd be more strict, I want her to cooperate. So I kind of let her get away with it. So I've just continued on doing the same thing until I get to the top. And now I'm gonna get ready to start on the other side. And the only thing with this is I'm just gonna do the same thing, and I'm going to try to match the parts so that it ends up looking really even and clean in the end. So you see, I'm just trying to line up these vertical parts with the parts on the other side. And again, I'm using some spray to help me achieve a clean line, a clean part. So I'm gonna slow it down for you so you can see how I twist the hair of the ponytail that I'm making just a little bit, not too tight, but just a little bit. And then I'm gonna twirl the hair from the previous ponytail around my fingers in the same direction and add it into that new ponytail. Now, the reason that I do this is because I've done this hairstyle and not done that, and the ponytails don't come out as neat. And then you can't see the parts, and it kind of makes the style look less clean in the end. So I've twisted that other little piece of hair, and now I'm gonna add it in and secure that new ponytail. So now that I'm done with the back of her head, I'm just gonna make the 2 little pigtails on the top of her head. And I'm making a part in the center of her head, and it's gonna line up with the center part that I've done in the back of her head, which is why it was so important for it to be even, because that will make these pigtails even. So I'm gonna section away that piece of hair and start on her first pigtail, and I'm gonna spray it just a little bit to make sure it smooths out nicely. And I'm adding my Blueberry Bliss control paste, and I'm gonna smooth out that ponytail with my bristle brush first. And then just like I added the hair in with the little ponytails in the back, I'm gonna twirl that piece of hair and add it to this ponytail before I secure it with the rubber band. So now I'm just gonna do the same thing to the other side. And then I will do her baby hairs, and I'm gonna add in some little barrettes, and I will be done. I also want to point out that this is a hairstyle that has more tension and lots of rubber bands and little small ponytails, and this is not a style I would leave in overnight. And this is not a style I would do every day. I like to give her hair a rest in between styles like this. So today was the day where she got in all the Blueberry Bliss control paste. She must have stuck my toothbrush in it while I wasn't paying attention to her. I don't need that much, so I'm gonna get rid of it and then just style her baby hairs. One of my favorite parts about doing Lillian's hair is letting her go look in the mirror afterwards. She loves the way her hair looks when it's done. It's so rewarding for her and me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.